Hi guys, welcome to DYAD in the Force. I'm Element.
And I'm Choco. And yeah, we're this Bad Batch night. And I'm excited because I think this is where we get to see our girl come back from the dead. Cal, how you feeling? I mean, she has come back the most. You can't keep a good girl down.
Oh, I'm just excited.
Shakti wobbles, but she don't fall down. It's just like
I never know what to think anymore because I've been like, yes, I've deciphered everything that's going on. It's like, no, you're wrong.
All right, so Choco is down officially for Ventress. I mean, I think I have no way but to think that. I think Ventress is Fennec Shan's contact. You know, with the way things have been playing out, it could very well be some other Killick named Siler Solace. Screw our predictions. But nonetheless, it is the most reasonable prediction to make. So we may get to see Ventress. Before we get started with this reaction, what is the context with which we see Ventress if we do? It's a
race to the prize is what I'm calling. Cad Bane is hunting Ventress at the same time that the Bad Batch wants to see her and talk to her. So it'll end up being a hunter reunion with Cad Bane. But it'll be an us reunion with our girl.
Okay. Do you still think there's any kind of flashback involved?
But I still want an explanation, but we'll see what happens.
But it could also just be a situation where it's more defensive than that, where we get to see Asajj hired with Fennec at that point, or Fennec is like, hey, I'm gonna need backup on this one.
All right, well, I think I'm gonna make
Hunter and her happen to go to the same hair salon, and they're like, hey, while you're here, let's
cut it
talk.
all off. I'm gonna predict it's going to be at the end. And we're gonna get the Ventress. But then, of course, just like my prediction with the Ahsoka on the Mandalorian. Remember way back when we were reacting to Ahsoka, I was like, we're not gonna see her until the end, and the episode opened up. And it's her. I was like, okay, never mind.
Episode opens, it's just Ventress.
Yeah, right. The whole episode's just her, and it is a flashback, and it is her at hair salon. Subtitles just say crosshair noises.
I checked the ship's comms. Still no word from Fennec.
Can't have an Inquisitor show up on your doorstep and be like,
We were prepared for this.
Batcher.
Batcher better watch out lest he run into my party of pawns.
Mushrooms? That actually looks a lot like the cave.
Stormwind Cave.
What is it? What's wrong? It's just the Kevin. We've been in this.
She said it's
I
just
heard
the
Kevin.
Kevin.
I heard Kevin as well. This-
Picture, where are you going?
Oh,
Yes, in the
All
beginning.
right.
Gladly. You know, for rogue clones who are trying to lay low, you're failing spectacularly. Especially that one.
And who are you?
Fennec sent me.
The Force. You mean Jedi?
You're saying I'm a Jedi. I mean,
Of course not.
Just come out
Your
and say it.
blood doesn't make you a Jedi. You'd have to be trained for that.
Is this the first canonical reference to midichlorians we've had on a screen project since?
by name. Yes.
That's
Yeah.
I thought they were getting rid of that for M count. Now, of course,
No.
in the reference books, it always says midichlorians, and in Secrets of the Jedi, it says midichlorians. But then ever since they started using the M count since the Mandalorian, I thought they were trying to like kind of retcon it out of existence, but
I mean, my assumption was always just that if you were like a Jedi or a Sith, you would say midichlorian because you're familiar with them, and if you were someone that was tertiary, then yeah, they would use M count because it's just like it's just like a thing, you know.
Yeah.
interesting.
It's like when my mom talks about the gigabits, and you're like, okay.
Do I have the gigs bit speed?
Do I got that 5G?
No one's been able to give me answers.
5G gave me COVID.
I need to know what I am.
You're an anomaly.
But just remember, you asked for this.
Ooh, I think we're getting the Omega Force sensitivity storyline. Ventress may
Yeah, I
take it and
remember-
get it out of her.
I mean, she did take a lot of solace in her meditations and stuff
But the
that she learned
road
from
is
Gunji.
slippery.
Think carefully. How do you want this to go?
Still
I've died once before.
Sorry, excuse me. Coming through. Watch out.
You can use me. Oh, she's gonna do it.
Hey, girl. I'm gonna need some help. I need to get to the Archeman fast.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
You asked
Suck it.
for my help.
Whoever said it couldn't be done.
That's before we realized who you
I
are.
don't think anybody did.
Now leave.
No,
I'll consider it.
I know who it is. I just don't want to say it for the video.
Omega's abilities.
Oh, Jesus. Did they go with mocap on this?
It feels like it.
Yeah. A combination for sure.
Oh my gosh. Right before the Acolyte, we get some more Terras Kasi. It's crazy.
Dude, she like with this hairstyle too, she looking good. It's like that's just so sick. Her style in this is so badass.
The White Blossom! What? Stop! What's going on?
She's been lying to us, Omega. She's a war criminal.
Times have changed. Something you clones
I
should
mean-
be familiar with.
You're all war criminals.
Same.
No. We were pawned in the same war. And we all lost.
Okay, but if she's as bad as you say, then why didn't she kill you when she had the chance?
We were just getting warmed up.
Don't know much about the war, but things are different.
Doesn't even acknowledge it.
You're being naive.
Anyways, so
I never gave up on you, did I?
Get in. Time for your final test.
She's gonna toss her in the water and say, swim back.
A pimp named Swimback.
Stop
Sorry.
smiling. It's unsettling.
I hate
Please
myself.
tell the story of. Please tell the story while you're riding the boat. Even. Please. That sounds so desperate.
Should we be out this far? So, why should I listen to you?
She was just choking Ricker with no hands. Look, no hands, Mom. Oh man, she gonna do like a whirlpool or something. Oh, is this planet? Is this planet like I'm about to say, does this planet have some kind of connection with Iker?
I mean, those fish were mighty green.
Well, that doesn't look good.
Is that a Pabuan dweller?
Did you summon that?
Not intentionally.
Things are getting mighty interesting.
I wasn't expecting tentacles.
Oh, that is a fantastic
Verthune.
hairstyle on her.
Right?
And then the mohawk.
Calm down and reach out.
That's a freaking
Yeah, that
look.
looks great. As if she couldn't get more stylish.
Am I just now finding out that Pabu is just an island on Dathomir? Is that a underdwell? Is that a dweller and it's feeding on Iker?
That said Vethrine or something like that.
I like his little forehead mouth.
All the shell being all like.
Not wrong. Get on.
That was pretty fun. Already a target.
Don't worry about it, kid. We're gonna figure it out. Come on, let's go.
It is the quality of M's, I suppose.
Thanks for trying.
Or that her blood allows counts to be added to it. Or something like that.
I still can't figure out what side you're on.
I'm on my
Nice.
own.
You're not worried about the Empire coming after you?
Let
They
them
can
come.
try.
Okay.
But I've got a few lives left.
Is that all we're getting?
That better not
That's
be
all
all
we're
we're
getting.
getting.
Is that what this is about?
Here it is. All right, episode 9, Harbinger. We finally got Asajj Ventress. What does this mean moving forward? We got one line that hints at
Only one.
what could have possibly happened. She's got a few lives left. So is that what happened at the end of Dark Disciple?
Yeah. And so, full disclosure, what happened at the end of Dark Disciple as her body is placed, Obi-Wan was very sure to take her body back to Dathomir and place it into the living waters. And as he did, he could hear the Nightsisters welcome. I think they're laughing and welcoming her into its embrace.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we think that was basically ended up being the pool for her resurrection. You know, there was still power in those waters. Perhaps it was the spirits of the Nightsisters. They have been known to defy death on a regular basis, and you know, even do things like fix your robot legs or your brain when you're crazy. So,
Well, more so than the whispers of her sister saying "Welcome home." Quinlan Voss and Obi-Wan were watching as the waters, a green mist, came up from the waters and like cradled her. And so it's not like she kind of like in a normal kind of at sea funeral, she would just kind of drift into, but like the waters went whoop, grabbed her and then kind of like brought her down. So I think a lot of what this episode is doing symbolically with the green fish, with the Vrathine kind of symbolizing what I was saying was like, is that like another like dweller? And so I think that was all symbolism.
I mean,
if we're not going to get any more than that.
It matched a lot of the description of the dweller as well.
I just feel like there's a lot of symbolism between her needing to handle it on her own to, Dark Disciple and stuff like that. I feel like it was symbolic for her specifically.
The way she kind of overcame the Vrathine was definitely symbolic to the rite that Nightsisters would have to go through. They would go down into the living waters and confront the dweller, and then they would either come back alive or be dead. And so I think this episode particularly, if we think that that's all we're getting is that I have a few lives left, if that's all we're getting, then symbolically this is like a stand-in for her and the dweller to be like, you want to go back? Are you okay? And Ventress is like, yes.
Well, I mean, Mother Taliesin drops the line that she's not a natural force wielder. You have someone like Asajj Ventress who is, and so I'm sure that also could potentially amplify, all the rituals they do with the Ichor. But on a separate note, even from the beginning, I've never assumed that the test being successful with Omega meant that she had a high midichlorian count. I've always assumed that for some reason her genetic makeup was just something that is like a really solid base for adding things to. It's like vanilla ice cream.
It makes
right?
it
You
possible.
take vanilla, you can put chocolate in there. You get this, strawberry, whatever. It's a base that you add things to, that you can add things to without degradation of the thing you added. And so, it's like a true neutral palate. It's like Greek yogurt. That's what she is. She's Greek yogurt.
It does make sense, and there are some people out there with Omega Force sensitivity theories, and this is also not to say that we can definitively say she's not, but it all lies with whether or not Ventress is lying and what she's lying about, because she was lying as she led on. She said about which part. But it does make sense that Omega's palate or Omega's genetics would be more akin to something that, as you said, allows for the transfer, because for the most part they've been testing it on people with high M counts. So it can't be just high M counts. It has to be something else. But yeah, what did you think of all of this, Cal?
I mean, it's really cool to see Asajj back. I always love when a character in any show comes back and they've got like an entire new fit and it just looks good. It's like, damn,
She looks so good.
You know what?
Definitely leveled up.
The upgrade in the animation, though, specifically with her having her hair and how when it was wet it looked a different way, when she was underwater it looked a different way. That's just new for the Clone Wars. Everyone else's was just like a block.
A Lego
it was like Lego hair, with the exception of Kit Fisto's tentacles, because he's spectacular under the water. Although nothing beats him in the 2D animated version. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
We're like Mr. Fisto.
I find it rather fascinating that Star Wars is this good when it comes to making things relevant around a certain point in time. We had Grogu doing this force healing, and then Rey do force healing, and then I would have to think more deeply on this because there's a lot more connections involved with how things are done to set up its use in a later project. In this case, in this case, we just got the trailer dropped for The Acolyte and Carrie Ann Moss doing Terras Kasi because the Jedi had a martial art that was non-lethal. And then we get Asajj Ventress doing it in this, and it looked so good. I have to see if this was mocapped at all, because it looked like the same treatment as season 7, where it was mocapped and then hand polished. It just looked so good. And I'm wondering if you, aside from any other final thoughts before I wrap this reaction up, if you guys think that that's all we're going to get, or will they spend another episode, possibly in the next one, with Asajj?
I don't think we're going to get any more specifically from Asajj. Personally, it's not Asajj's story.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't see a way of shoehorning it in without doing what they did to the Book of Boba Fett with having a whole Mando episode in the middle, you know? And I don't think that's good for the narrative of a show, just in general. It works better in the Mandoverse thing because you're a whole chapter thing, but yeah, that's a whole different animal. I think that's all we're gonna get. I don't know that I need more. I want more, mm-hmm. But I don't know that I need more. I would love though to get like I just really hope that this prompts a book series or something like that of her to find.
I was going to say,
between.
I would like to see either a show or a book called The Path, and it deals with Asajj reconnecting with Quinlan and it joining him in his, work that he does with the Path and stuff like that, and shows where their story goes together and potentially how it ends. Depending on, where they want to take the characters or the story and stuff like that. But I think it's good to see them treat this character and their return as importantly as the fight between Maul and Ahsoka, with this high fidelity type of fighting that they did. They don't bring out that type of action unless it's like an important thing. So I feel like this is, setting the stage for something in the future.
Yeah, I think to a degree I agree that what we got symbolically is enough. Where it kind of explains, and through people who have read Dark Disciple, it's clear that's what happened at the end. However, I actually disagree in the fact that she has run her course narratively because of how much rapport she's gained with Omega in this one episode by her training. I think that Asajj is indelibly connected to this main plot now, and she's going to and this part specifically, this one nugget is wish list. She's going to find out that Quinlan has been helping survivors through the Path, like Cal said. And she is going to therefore say, or through narrative threads and all, she's going to help them with Omega, because it's going to turn out that she was lying about her M count. And she already knows that Omega is a target anyway. So she's going to help Omega. She's going to help the Bad Batch. And this will lead into Quinlan and Asajj bringing Omega through the Path. And then it's going to lead to the second wish list is that the series ends with Quinlan and Asajj both alive. And that will spur another book series that we finally get, where they're just happy and frolicking through the meadow and
Yeah, it's just a slice of life show. At that point, or book.
And to be clear, I was not trying to say that I don't believe she wouldn't be showing back up. I mean, I do think that this perfectly sets her up for either, like you said, an end game where, you know, she's the one that Omega goes off with, although my heart previously was set on Fee. But also for some type of finale, because I mean, you know, the shows. Typically, the finale, there's something big. They call in all the favors that they have. You know, they're gonna be dead to rights, and all of a sudden, the person's gonna get shot, and they'll be, "I'm sure glad I called that person." And it's gonna be Fennec Shand, like sniping from a window. You know, like they get the whole band back together. So I can definitely see that. I just mean, I don't think we're ever going to get
A full episode.
Asajj for the sake of Asajj.
Yeah,
I think it's only Asajj through the scope of what Omega is happening with Omega and what Omega is going through. But you know what? The reason I don't think we need any more about Asajj's story is because of Ahsoka. The end of Ahsoka. Do you see how many coffins they were loading up on that ship? Like, what do you think they're doing? They're gonna be bringing back those Nightsisters. They're gonna take him to Dathomir, submerge him in those same living waters, and bring him back. We're gonna be able to see that and instantly know what happened with Asajj Ventress. That's what I think.
Well, it is uncharted territory from here. That's for sure. And it's
What else would they be bringing him for? Like beef jerky? I don't know.
more like, you know, those death troopers for Thrawn's
Zombie troopers.
squad. But okay, so let me paint the.
I don't think they gave Thrawn Squad the good stuff. You know what I mean?
Let me paint the picture for this last wish list. Like, so everything happens, and they let the clones go, and it's everybody on Pabu, and they're just standing around. It is revealed that Omega has a high M count and has potential, and you know, there's this discussion between the Bad Batch and Ventress about her needing to be trained, and you know, they go through this sob thing. Everyone's sobbing. They don't want to say goodbye. It's like, where are you gonna go from here? I know someone who's taking care of Force sensitives on the run. And then my boy Quinlan walks out and goes,
Of course I know him. He's me.
oh man.
No,
Wish list. That's obviously, it's going to be a lot simpler than that, but can't blame a guy. You know what I'm saying?
My wish list is that the Bad Batch isn't going to be Rogue One, but instead pulled in as kind of the muscle, the ship, and everything like that for the path, and incorporated into that more directly as like their own division of it. And maybe all paths lead to Pabu. Who knows?
Ooh. Well, there was the insinuation that the path led to Tanalorr, but at the same time, I do like that.
Could always be a stopping point along the way.
You don't really need to be Force sensitive to be part of the path too. So I do like that the Bad Batch, they don't have to separate. They're just like, where can we be safe? Like, I know a place. And then Quinlan comes like,
Yep. Rewind. Start over. Quinlan.
I'll take you there.
All right, Choco. Final words for this reaction. Give us your wish list. Put aside narrative sense and just be like, this would be really cool if this is how it all went down.
It would be really cool if essentially we have some level of training, right? Because Asajj, obviously not a Jedi, came up on the dark side of things, but so it's not going to have the full gamut of equipment or knowledge or resources, but can give her enough. And so what we'll end up with is someone that's still more akin to the trooper side of things, but with some added little perks, some little caveats here and there. And
Some
I
Jean
also
Morala?
think, well, I also think that she really, her strength is her connection. Also, what if we find out she's really good at games, because not only does she have a strategic mind, but she can get glimpses of what the other people are going to do, and can kind of see things ahead of time. And we've had little hints of things throughout all of the Bad Batch. I don't think she needs to have a high midichlorian count to have connected at certain points, and I think she can harness that. I mean, I don't need her to be a Jedi, but I would love to see her embrace the connection, and she be the one who is, especially the connection to the other clones out there in the universe. That's who she really cares about. So
She's this beacon. I like that. There's a lot of room.
she's the coordinate.
There's a lot of room in Star Wars for Force sensitives that are not they're not trained up to be fully Jedi or Sith, right? We have the Esahembe. We have Ozili Esahembes, which are the Skywalkers for the Chiss that are just navigators, right? Mm-hmm. And then we have Force collectors
And the whole Navigators Guild.
Yeah, and then we have Force collectors, and then it'd be interesting to kind of bring out this new kind of category of Force sensitive that is kind of like Chirrut, right? There's like a certain way that they are connected, but they're not. They don't have the full, like you said, gamut of Force wielding. So Omega comes out of this with her ability. I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But let us know what you guys think in the comment section below. What are your predictions for Ventress in the upcoming episodes? And give us your wish lists for how this series ends. And throw away all sense of narrative and just go at it with reckless abandon.
Like a child playing with her action figures.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification icon to know when we post new videos. But that'll do it for this one. On to the next one.
For Light and for Life.
Wrong. We are all the dyad.
And may Asajj Ventress haunt your dreams in the best way possible.